Hey YouTube, blues cats, catettes. I took a little bit of a road trip today. I'm hanging out in good old Oshawa, Ontario. Still got Red here with me, my S335, and a print that I did of Jimi Hendrix. Always was watching over me there, being a cool guy as per usual. Good old Hendrix. Cool thing about being in Oshawa is that I have a little amp. That's my Strat that has problems right now, but I also have a Blues Junior 3, which I've had for a couple of years, and it's a great amp. So, just gonna hammer it down to the real strings and things. And talk about the whole point of this video, which is string choice. Does string gauge really affect anything? I don't have a comparison video for you or anything like that, but really, does string choice greatly vary your tone? Depends on who you ask. I'd say not that much. Maybe a little bit. Like if you play with banjo strings, yeah, But once you get a big Marshall PSL behind it, it doesn't really make a big difference. It makes doing those pig squeal type things that a little bit easier, as you can see, because I don't have my gain up really high. So it's kind of tough to do it, but as opposed to just it's like those pig squeal type things that Billy Gibbons is famous for, and he uses really thin gauge strings. Same with Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix used really thin gauge strings. I'm sure a lot of other people did too. And then a lot of famous people used really heavy gauge strings. Stevie Ray Vaughan, right off the bat, I know I talk about him all the time, but, used massive string gauges from 11s being the thinnest all the way up to custom 13 gauge acoustic guitar strings, and we had 5 trem strings in a Strat, and if you put those kind of strings on your average $1,000 Strat, you'll break the shit out of it, which is what I did. And do I use 11s? And here's why I use heavy gauge strings. I know this video is kind of all over the place, and it's gonna have lots of nonsense, but basically, why I use heavy gauge strings is, for one, I love to do bends. Bends are my life playing guitar. I love that superhero bend. So I find that when I use 10s, which is about the lowest that I'll go, I break my strings constantly. So there's benefits and nuisances to both, right? So if you're using thin gauge strings, they're gonna break the harder you play them. That kind of shit happens. You're gonna be able to get pitch harmonics much more easily. Your bends are gonna go easier, but if you bring them too far, you're gonna bend, whatever. So 8s, 9s, lower, are on that side of the scale. 11s are what I would consider a thick guitar string gauge. 10s are pretty light to me. A lot of people, they're not, whatever. But do you really get a fuller, darker tone, I don't know. My action's really high, so I have a good slap in my tone already. that's just because that's how the action's set on my guitar. And I'm playing through a blackface type amp. So what does using a thick gauge string really do for you, other than prolong, you should change your strings every couple of months because the oils in your hands corrode them. That's the basis. But you're not going to break your strings before they rust out if you're using thick 11 gauge strings, or higher if you have a guitar that'll support it. Negative, they're hard to play. If you're not used to them, they're hard to play. End of story. It's like playing an acoustic guitar with really light acoustic strings on it. It's tough to do super quick stuff compared to nines. Again, this is another thing. You're going to wind up with a fucking insane action on your guitar like that because you're putting a lot more stress on the neck. Especially if you have lots of weather changes in your country. I live in Ontario and Canada, so there you go. But what it will help you with are these. And you can't see them, obviously. I record shit with my phone. But your fingers will get stronger. They will get faster. They will become less sensitive to pain and, the soreness of playing when you play guitar. I can't feel anything in my three fingers. I play, like, instead of playing 4 frets apart with my pinky, I'll play like this. I don't know, that's just a preference of mine. But when I go and I play a 9 gauge string guitar, it feels like I'm playing, a classical guitar with nylon strings. It's not a big deal. So I just try and stick with 11s. It's hard on your guitar. It's hard on your hands. You might feel like there's a big tone difference. I don't really feel that there's that massive a tone difference. It's very minuscule, You really have to turn off your amp to be able to tell the big difference. But that's been my little ramble on string choice. So if you are just beginning playing guitar, like hopefully people who are finding this channel are, or they're just getting into blues, play thick gauge string guitar or strings, because they will make your hands tough. They will make you strong like ox. And you'll do great if you ever decide that you're going to go down to 10s or 9s or 8s or banjo strings. You'll be like, wow, these strings aren't even here. And you'll just be playing crazy stuff all over the place. Like... Except 10 times faster because you'll be on fucking little tiny non-existent strings. But anyways, so yeah, that's my little jive about that, and I'll just jam with my good amp for about a minute here. Yeah! Oh no!